After returning to Nevermore Academy, a mysterious school for outcast teens with supernatural abilities, Wednesday Addams is determined to prevent a terrible prophecy, one that foretells the death of her best friend, a death she believes would be her fault. Hello, today we will look at the plot of Season 2 of the 2025 series Wednesday. The second season opens with a tense scene. Wednesday wakes up tied to a chair in the basement of a real serial killer. Despite the gag in her mouth, her voice narrates the opening scene, a chilling monologue introducing the new story arc. During the summer, she had been honing her psychic powers using the diary of the legendary seer Goody Addams. Determined to put her visions to the test, she decides to hunt down a true murderer. Thing, her loyal disembodied hand, sneaks into the police station and retrieves a bowling ball from the evidence room, a clue from one of the killer's past victims. Through her visions, Wednesday tracks the murderer down and boards a plane to confront him. At the airport, security confiscates all her self-defense tools, but that doesn't stop her. Arriving at the suspect's home, she tries to use a taser, but upon contact, she's hit with a powerful vision. Black tears stream from her eyes before she collapses. When she comes to, she's in a strange basement full of creepy dolls. The killer appears and confesses he sees the spirits of the dead. Soon, he claims, Wednesday will join them, but he underestimated one thing: she's never alone.
Let me show you some of my own handiwork.
Thing springs into action and beats the killer unconscious. After handing him over to the police, Wednesday returns home and prepares for the new school year at Nevermore. On the way back, her younger brother Pugsley, now a student at the school himself, practices throwing lightning bolts, his unique supernatural ability. Wednesday encourages him to strike a stop sign, resulting in a minor car accident. That's Addams' family humor for you. Elsewhere, in the suburbs, a private investigator is watching a young couple. Suddenly, a flock of ravens led by an injured bird attack him. Before he's killed, he manages to make a call, revealing the location where he hid crucial evidence. Moments later, the birds destroy his van, and him with it. The Addams family arrives at Nevermore. Wednesday, now responsible for keeping an eye on her brother, explains the school's social structure to him. Meanwhile, she learns she's become a legend among students for saving the school last year. The new principal, Barry Dort, introduces himself to Wednesday. She then returns to her dorm where her werewolf roommate Enid is throwing a chaotic reunion party with her pack. Wednesday kicks them out and catches up with Enid, handing her a creepy doll, a trophy from her summer hunt. She also discovers a crossbow trap and a strange message from someone who's been stalking her. Touching a photo, Wednesday experiences a vision of herself being watched, but the stalker's face remains hidden. Meanwhile, Gomez helps Pugsley settle into his new dorm room, where he's paired with Eugene, Wednesday's old friend. Morticia receives an offer to lead the school's charity board, giving her an excuse to stay closer to her daughter. Much to Wednesday's dismay, the school temporarily houses her parents in a vacant lodge left over from last year's events.
Hey Dad, I found some old mouse traps under the sink. You want a snack?
Morticia expresses her desire to become Wednesday's spiritual mentor, to help her explore her abilities. But Wednesday brings up Aunt Ophelia, Morticia's long-estranged sister, a name that brings tension into the room. Feeling overwhelmed, Wednesday goes for a walk and stumbles upon a crime scene, the exact location where the ravens had attacked and killed the detective. She spots a suspicious witness and immediately starts pursuing him. It turns out to be former Sheriff Galpin, the father of the boy Wednesday once helped send to a psychiatric hospital. He warns her that the birds are watching them. That evening, a story night is held for new students. The legend of the skull tree is told, a mysterious tree hidden in the woods, said to be the burial place of one of Nevermore's greatest students, a genius who built a mechanical heart that, according to rumors, still beats within his dead body. Inspired by the tale, Pugsley decides to sneak out at night and find the tree himself. He plans to dig up the body to see if the legend is true. Meanwhile, Principal Dort blackmails Siren Bianca into joining the Academy's fundraising committee by threatening to expose her personal secrets. Elsewhere, Enid officially inducts Thing into her social group, while Morticia reminisces about her long-lost sister. At the same time, Wednesday plays her cello in the assembly hall, where she meets the new music teacher, Isadora Capri. Unbeknownst to her, someone is cutting the eyes out of a photo of Wednesday. The next day, the Academy prepares for the annual fire ceremony, a traditional ritual that marks the beginning of the academic year. While Principal Dort tries to convince Morticia to lead the school's fundraising committee, Bianca is assigned as her assistant. Back in her dorm, Wednesday discovers that someone has stolen the only existing copy of her novel, a manuscript she's been working on for 2 years, and hidden it inside the giant bonfire structure prepared for the ceremony. She immediately rushes to the site with Enid. As the ceremony begins with Nevermore's anthem, Wednesday sneaks toward the massive pile of sticks hiding her manuscript. As soon as the anthem ends, the principal delivers a speech and lights the fire. Within seconds, Wednesday dives into the flames, grabs her novel, and escapes, just in time before she would have turned into a gothic casserole. Afterward, Principal Dort publicly praises her as a hero, but Wednesday doesn't bask in the glory. Instead, she sets fire to a ceremonial painting made to honor last year's events. Meanwhile, Pugsley is deep in the forest. He finds the mysterious tree, stumbles, and accidentally activates his power. He shoots a lightning bolt that strikes the mechanical heart of the buried inventor. The zombie rises from the grave. Pugsley is ecstatic. He brought a legend to life. Back at the school, Enid finds Wednesday after the ceremony. The moment she touches her, Wednesday falls into another bizarre vision. She sees Enid's grave and Enid's ghost, who blames Wednesday for her death. Wednesday wakes up in the family lodge. Morticia tells her that the black tears are a side effect of psychic overload. She offers to help her daughter learn to control her powers, but Wednesday refuses. Still thinking about the strange raven and the warning from the former sheriff, Wednesday visits his home. There she finds his lifeless body. The ravens had ripped out his eyes. When she tries to touch him, expecting a vision, nothing comes. But instead of a vision, the police show up and arrest her on the spot. Fortunately, Gomez arrives just in time to take her home, revealing he has a law degree and knows how to get her released. On the ride back, Wednesday questions her father about Aunt Ophelia, but Gomez tells her it's better to talk about that with her mother. The next morning, Pugsley confesses to his neighbor Eugene that he's hiding the reanimated zombie in Eugene's beekeeping shed. They try to feed the creature with honey, but it gets sick. So, the boys bring a sandwich from the school cafeteria, local food that could either kill or revive. Back on campus, Wednesday finds Enid lying motionless on the balcony, but it turns out to be a prank. It's prank day, a local tradition for the first week of school. Enid is getting back at Wednesday for the creepy eye left on her pillow, though Wednesday swears it wasn't her. She suspects it might be the eye of Sheriff Galpin. To make things worse, someone starts sending threatening messages from the deceased sheriff's phone. Clearly, they're being watched. Principal Dort takes a stroll through the academy grounds with the mysterious Dr. Orloff, a relative of the infamous Professor Dowell. Wednesday asks whether there's anyone at Nevermore with the ability to control birds. The answer is no. Such gifted outcasts are extremely rare. Determined, Wednesday decides to visit Tyler Galpin, the son of the murdered sheriff, who is being held in isolation at a psychiatric hospital due to his power to transform into a hide. She steals the only ticket for the school's field trip and, after cutting the instructor's safety line, escapes toward the hospital. Ironically, the instructor thinks that's exactly where she belongs. At the institution, she is greeted by Dr. Fairborn, a psychiatrist who specializes in treating outcasts. Fairborn allows Wednesday to see Tyler, hoping the interaction will help with his therapy. But Tyler is anything but cooperative. He's aggressive, frightens Wednesday, and vows revenge on Enid for defeating him in a past fight. Back in her dorm, Wednesday finds a mysterious clue inside Thing's suitcase. A secret messenger warns her that Enid and her new boyfriend have been kidnapped. She has only 30 minutes to find the location and rescue her friend. A chance encounter with Ms. Capri, the new music teacher, sparks a realization. The key is in the notes. Wednesday presses specific keys on the pipe organ and unlocks a hidden passage leading to an old tower. Inside, she encounters a ghost who leaves another clue hidden in a mask. Beneath a platform lined with slowly descending knives, Enid is chained up. Wednesday deciphers that the answer is Herbert Wells, which stops the deadly trap just in time. The mysterious stalker finally reveals herself. It's Agnes DeMille, a student with the power of invisibility and a devoted fan of Wednesday. Though Wednesday is frustrated to learn that it was all an elaborate prank, Agnes assures her she had nothing to do with the sheriff's death. She admits to stealing the phone, but nothing more. Back in her room, Wednesday tries to reread Goody's book to reactivate her prophetic powers, but the book is gone. Her mother took it. Meanwhile, Principal Dort pressures Bianca into using her siren powers to convince Morticia to persuade Grandma to donate to the academy. However, the spell doesn't work on Dort himself. He wears a protective amulet. As the Addams family throws a birthday party for Thing, Wednesday sneaks into her parents' bedroom to retrieve the book. But Morticia is one step ahead. She believes that without proper mentorship, Wednesday might lose control of her powers, just like Aunt Ophelia once did.
Fish? I'm sorry, mon chéri. The romantic mood has unexpectedly escaped me.
Maybe later.
Without her seer abilities, Wednesday is forced to continue her investigation as a normal mortal. She attends Sheriff Galpin's funeral, where only she, Dr. Fairborn, and the new sheriff are present. It turns out that Tyler's father visited him at the hospital shortly before his death, a visit that triggered a violent episode from Tyler. Wednesday also shares her theory that the killer might be an avian, someone who can control birds. But Dr. Fairborn insists there are no such patients at Willow Hill. Collecting the deceased sheriff's belongings, Wednesday returns to Nevermore. She enlists help from Agnes and another shape-shifting student to hack into Galpin's phone and extract the hidden data. Upon learning that the detective had left crucial evidence in an abandoned forest cabin, Wednesday decides to use the school nature trip as an opportunity to investigate the place. She joins the Nevermore students who are heading out for a weekend in the camp. Pugsley and Eugene notice that the zombie Schloop has returned to the shed on his own and that his brain has started to regenerate. To prevent another incident, Pugsley takes him along, hiding him in a coffin. Upon arriving at the camp, it turns out that the Addams parents have also arrived. Academic rules require an adult to accompany the students. Wednesday is displeased with her mother's presence, who still hasn't returned the Book of Prophetic Dreams, but Morticia is willing to endure in order to protect her daughter from a greater threat. Schloop is hidden in a tent, and pyrotechnic traps are set up around it in case he escapes. But the camp's atmosphere is darkened by the arrival of a group of scouts. It turns out they also have permission to use the forest. To avoid conflict, Wednesday suggests settling the issue with a fair competition. Whoever wins gets full control of the camp, the loser goes home. The competition is a symbolic war for the talisman. Each side sends two teams, one to defend the talisman, the other to attack. The talisman must be delivered to the watchtower. The scouts quickly neutralize one of the outcast teams. They rip the hat off the Gorgon Ajax's head, turning part of his team to stone, and disarm Ajax himself by pulling a sack over his head. They take the talisman and rush toward the tower. Wednesday's group faces difficulties. The scouts are wearing headphones that block Siren Bianca's abilities. Then the werewolves Enid and Bruno join the fight, but they are also taken out with gas. As a last resort, Wednesday asks Eugene to send a swarm of bees after the enemy. The stings paralyze the scouts, allowing her to seize the talisman, but a scout has already almost reached the tower. Without hesitation, Wednesday uses an arrow to stretch a rope between a cliff and the tower, slides along it, and at the last moment knocks the opponent off, placing the talisman herself and winning the game. While the outcasts celebrate their victory, Wednesday secretly leaves the camp and heads to the sheriff's forest cabin. Inside, she finds a collection of newspaper clippings with obituaries of outcast teenagers. All of them, as it turns out, were patients at the Willow Hill Psychiatric Clinic. On the wall is a name, LOIS. Wednesday tries to summon a prophetic vision, but her power hasn't returned. Back at camp, she challenges her mother to a duel with blindfolds. Morticia agrees. The winner takes the book.
Darling, Wednesday and I are going to sword fight in the woods and settle our differences.
Music to my ears. I'm going to shower in one of the rustic stalls. Have fun.
Meanwhile, the scouts, angered by their defeat, plan a nighttime attack. But the first tent their leader breaks into belongs to Pugsley, and instead of victory, he is met with a hungry zombie. The zombie triggers the firework traps and starts wandering chaotically through the camp. Encountering Gomez in the shower, Schloop nearly attacks him, but Pugsley manages to subdue the monster with a swift strike of a stun gun. Meanwhile, Wednesday and Morticia finish their duel. The mother breaks her daughter's glass medallion. She now has the right to burn Goody's book, considering it harmful. Wednesday, stunned by the loss, throws her rapier, not at her mother, but at a shadow looming behind, and hits the zombie straight on. It collapses. The police arrive the next day, taking the creature to the Willow Hill Clinic, where Dr. Fairbairn is informed that the new patient has already killed several people. The name in the file: Marilyn Thornhill, former teacher at Nevermore Academy. Dr. Fairbairn tries to understand the nature of Tyler's violent impulses and sees in this a possibility for therapy. But before starting the experiments, she insists on meeting with him. During the meeting, Tyler transforms into the Hyde and nearly breaks her neck, blaming her for what she did to him. In response, the woman promises to free him from his chains. Meanwhile, Wednesday, together with her grandmother, heads to a cemetery to find the ashes of one of the former outcasts. But the discovery alarms them. The ashes in the urn turn out to be of animal origin. Suddenly, a raven appears, snatches the obituary, and disappears along with a mysterious man in a dark cloak. Grandmother advises Wednesday to learn more from the doctor who confirmed the death of the outcast. A little later, Uncle Fester arrives at the tower, accidentally electrocuting the spy Agnes with his signature electric shocks. Wednesday asks him to visit the psychiatric clinic and search for a woman named Lois. Fester recalls that their Aunt Ophelia had also once been treated there, but after her escape, no one ever saw her again. To infiltrate the clinic, Uncle Fester checks into a local hotel, pays with dyed bills, and causes a ruckus. This draws the attention of the police, who arrest him, along with another mysterious figure, Bianca's mother, who had been hiding from her past. In the clinic, Fester is subjected to electroshock therapy, but he isn't afraid. He's been familiar with such methods since childhood. Meanwhile, Wednesday questions her mother about Aunt Ophelia. Morticia reveals that her sister couldn't handle her gift of seeing the future due to the black tears, and their grandmother had sent her for treatment. At the same time, Grandma finds out that the death was certified by Dr. Augustus Stonehurst. Agnes discovers that he is no longer a doctor, but a patient in the same clinic. Suddenly, a mysterious stranger appears, whom Wednesday chases, but a flock of ravens intervenes and almost kidnaps Rich. The situation is saved by Principal Dort, who drives away the birds using pyrokinesis. In the music room, Wednesday meets with Dr. Fairbairn and Miss Capri. They agree to conduct music therapy for the patients. Realizing she has lost the trail, Wednesday sends Rich to the clinic with a message for Fester: find Stonehurst. Fester finds the doctor, who no longer speaks and is confined to a wheelchair, but his parrot unexpectedly gives a clue about where to find Lois. The old man points toward a storage room. That's where the key to the mystery is hidden. However, Marilyn recognizes Fester and reports him to the doctor. He is locked in a cell with an aggressive patient. Agnes and Wednesday devise a rescue plan. While Capri leaves for a therapy session, the girl hides in her car. Agnes sneaks into the checkpoint and creates a diversion with dynamite in the bathroom, allowing Wednesday to slip in unnoticed. Inside, she is already awaited by the cook, who is in love with Fester and helps the girl reach her uncle's cell. During the escape, they also accidentally release Zombie Schloop. In an underground storage room, Wednesday uncovers the truth. LOIS is not a name. It's an acronym for a secret program of experiments on outcast creatures. Deep within the psychiatric hospital, Wednesday and Fester discover a hidden section of the facility. Dozens of isolated cells where those thought to be dead are being held. It turns out the obituaries were merely a cover. In reality, all of these beings were imprisoned for secret experiments. At that moment, the mysterious cloaked figure appears. It turns out to be Judy, who had previously disguised herself as Dr. Fairbairn's assistant. In fact, she is the true head of the facility and the daughter of Stonehurst. Her gift, the power of Avian, was not acquired naturally, but through experiments during which ordinary normies were turned into outcasts. The situation escalates. Uncle Fester calls down a lightning strike that breaks through the security system. The power surge shuts down the electricity, and with it, all the magnetic locks. The cells open, and the outcasts are freed, consumed by a thirst for revenge. The chaos deepens as the freed zombie Schloop attacks the guards, devours their brains, and literally repairs his own organs, regenerating as he goes. His path leads him to Stonehurst's room. There he meets Fairbairn, quickly neutralizes her, and then, with an eerie warmth, addresses old Stonehurst like an old friend, and eats his brain. Marilyn, taking advantage of the disorder, manages to reach Tyler to set him free, but the boy, filled with hatred, threatens her with death. He gives her a few seconds head start. Marilyn tries to escape, but Tyler, transforming into the Hyde, catches up to her and mercilessly kills her. Outside, the Hyde spots Wednesday, who is guiding one of the rescued victims of the LOIS experiments toward the exit. He attacks the girl and throws her out the window. She falls unconscious onto the stone pavement, leaving a trail of blood. At that moment, the police arrive. Under a hail of gunfire, the monster flees into the darkness, leaving behind only chaos and death. And Wednesday lies unconscious, between life and death. Thus ends the first half of Season 2. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, give it a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.